Hey guys, welcome back. 343 have just released an absurdly big update on Halo Infinite, talking about a whole bunch of things. I've not read this update yet. I figured what I'd do for this update is do it a bit differently and do an actual live read-through of the update and break it down as I go through it. So let's not waste any more time and let's do that right now. So the article is called Inside Infinite, and it's written by the looks of it by Joe Staten. Hey everyone, I'm Joe Staten. If you've been a long time part of the Halo community, you may already know me. If you're new to the community, hello, it's great to meet you. I was part of the Bungie team who made Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo Reach. I came up on the design side of these projects wearing many different hats over the years, including writer, cinematic director, creative director, even a voice for the grunts. After Reach shipped, I became a Halo fan, cheering on 343i from the sidelines, but I've spent the last 4 months immersing myself back into the Halo universe, and it's my honour as creative director to help our team ship Halo Infinite in fall 2021. Okay, oh, bloody hell. Fall 2021. Right, that's big news. Christ. It's gonna be a long wait, my god. Okay, onwards and upwards. Yep, that's when the game is coming out, and from now until then, every one of us at 343i and our great partner teams will be building, testing, and polishing an experience that we hope all of you love. I joined 343 right as the team was wrestling with feedback from the July campaign demo. This discussion boiled down to one fundamental truth. We needed more time to do things right. That included pushing hard in the fall, giving the team time to recharge over the holidays, and then come back in January to finish the game at a healthy pace to keep the verbs consistent. Jesus. Fall 2021, 6 years, dude. Holy shit, 6 years. Bloody hell. Because Halo Infinite in fall 2021 is just the beginning of our adventure. I'll be back at the end of the update for some closing thoughts, but now, Brian, Sketch, take it away. Right, okay, here we go. Art and graphics update. Thanks, Joseph. In the months since our campaign demo, the team has been heads down working on everything from lighting to fog to wear and tear on Spartan armor, as you'll see further below. Loving the look of that. We know the community has been eager to hear about and see the improvements and progress the team has made since July, so today we're joined by a few members of our art team and graphics team to talk shop. So the Sparth, Neil Harrison, and Annie Shastri. Oh, hello! Okay, here we have our first picture of this, whatever this is, a multiplayer map. Hello? This is our first look at an Infinite multiplayer map. Bloody hell, alright. Certainly looks detailed. Honestly, kind of looks like a Quake map to me. Or like a Doom map. It looks pretty good though. Not gonna complain. Back in July, our teams pulled together a slice of representative gameplay that introduced fans to the expansive nature of this new ring world, and we got the first look at Master Chief using the grapple shot and various weaponry to take on the Banished. Despite the excitement around the gameplay, we knew we had plenty of work left to do on the graphics and art side. Can you speak a bit about the demo and the team's perspective? The primary goal for the demo from Sparth was to show gameplay for the first time. That aspect generally landed. The reality is the art and visuals weren't at the bar that we hold for Halo, even in a work in progress state. Much of the feedback that we heard from the community aligned with our own views, which is good to hear, and work that we were already committed to doing around things like indirect lighting, material response, foliage, tree rendering, lots of cool stuff like that. Still, the feedback was humbling, and it also pushed us to look at additional opportunities for improvement. It's a privilege to work on Halo with such a strong community who cares so deeply about the franchise, and who we can always rely upon to provide valuable feedback on every aspect of our products. Great. Good to hear. July was very much a work in progress slice of technology, same stuff. Yeah, so pretty much we're talking about it being a work in progress slice. And a reasonable set of key features from global illumination and dynamic time of day to GPU-driven rendering and variable rate shading were all in active development. Yeah, so by the looks of it, just reaffirming that it was all in active development. Much of the graphics team's capacity, along with some of the technical artists, was focused on achieving high resolution and performance leading up to the demo, which meant that several things didn't quite get the level of polish and bug fixing that was warranted. Fair enough. We could kind of see that in gameplay, I think. Obviously, visual fidelity is very important for Halo Infinite, and the graphics and art teams have been continually aspiring and working closely with each other to create the best-looking Halo game ever. I want to acknowledge the input that we got from the community, Staying open to critical feedback and looking at areas where we can learn and do better is an inherent part of culture at 343. Great, cool. I can see another picture. I'm just going down and I see another. Hello, the spanker. Ooh. Okay. Slightly different. The design looks a bit more flush than the regular spanker. Like the orange. Big fan of the orange, I'll say that. It's a very sleek spanker, that is. I'll have to wait and see what I think about that over time. I'll have to let that one mull over. Before we get to visual fidelity, can you briefly touch on the latter, art style, and help clarify our intentions as it relates to the overall art style of Halo Infinite? This is talking about the classic art style. From a player's perspective, I absolutely must mention that I've been sort of a child of Bungie's marathon since 1994. Very nice. It was the very first FPS game that I got hooked on, and a lot of its original DNA prevailed in Halo several years later. All this to say, I've always been very attached to the visual continuity, especially for such a large franchise. I felt that Halo 5, despite many successors, didn't take player feedback enough into account, yes, and many thought the game's visuals were deviating off course. It was vital to embed Halo Infinite within the very stable foundations that would borrow from the past, as well as making sure that any new assets would convey a sense of legacy that would resonate with all players, old and new. We knew that it wouldn't be trivial to combine the cleaner and simpler forms of classic games like Halo 1 or Halo 2 with next-gen requirements and expectations of Halo Infinite. Merging both was going to be a challenge, but we stood close to our visual principles and made it work in the best way one day at a time. Spanker does look good, I'm not gonna lie, it is starting to grow on me a little bit. I managed to find a nice balance of modern Halo and classic Halo that will speak to all. We couldn't be more proud of this, cool. There's no denying that the return of the classic art style immediately evokes the unmistakable look and feel of Halo. When it comes to visual fidelity, the team has been making progress since July, as we can see in some of the latest images that we're sharing here today. Can you talk about some of the specific areas the team has been working on? So Annie goes on to say that on the graphics front, they've been working at fixing bugs that are inherent to some of the techniques, as well as iterating and polishing the features that were still in development. And then some other things like global illumination, ambient occlusion, shadows, volumetric lighting, sky, atmosphere, stuff like that have been improved since that gameplay demo, which is very good. Also messed with some GPU-driven stuff as well, and level of detail, popping, and texture quality. No texture popping. Good. There's a bit too much of that in the demo, so it's good to hear that that's been addressed. There's more to be done, and they're partnering with Neil and Sparse teams to drive the visual quality forward from both an engineering as well as an artistic front. And then Sparth goes on to say that they've made a lot of improvements on the kind of art and content side across all disciplines of environment and lighting and weapons and effects and more. There's too much to cover here, but I'll just talk through some of the more impactful changes in my mind. This is a very long article, so I'm assuming you did cover a lot of stuff. A lot of work has been done to retune the dynamic lighting to add more punch and contrast to the image. That's good. A lot of the sort of fan edits of the Infinite campaign demo increased the contrast quite a lot and it made it look a lot better, so good to hear they've done that. Including adjustments to sun intensity, fog and atmosphere, and the addition of color grading, which did not make it into the July demo. Interesting. Also improved materials to get more specular response, more wear and tear on weapons and vehicles, more fidelity in our characters, and more macro breakup on large surfaces like rocks, terrain, and the hex walls. The hex walls, I guess that's the name of them now. We're now also getting more of our textual detail coming through to the final frame thanks to a sharpening process that our graphics team have added. This helps offset some of the natural blurring of temporal anti-aliasing, and it certainly helps our assets shine. Great. We're eager to show the progress the team has made in campaign as soon as we can, but we want to make sure we have all the right pieces coming together, and this can be tricky with a lot of moving parts and an expansive world of this scope. We know everyone is keen to see more. Swarth, my dude, we sure as hell are. And we look forward to sharing more in future updates in the months ahead. Good. And there is the sniper, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's like a actual perfect mashup of like the Halo 4 design and the Reach design by the looks of it. Like, the stock looks very Halo 4 and the scope looks very Reach. And also the carry handle and the bipod. Or the carry handle looks very, very Halo 4 and Halo 5. And that bipod looks very Reach. That is literally the Halo 4 sniper and the Reach sniper mashed together. Interesting. Biggest thing with weapons like that is seeing what the view model's like. Obviously, we won't see that until they show us in-game stuff, like actual gameplay, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, speaking of improvements on the art/content side, one big outcome from our demo was the emergence of the now world-renowned Krieg. While we in the internet have come to love dear Krieg, we know he wasn't his best self back in July. Can you give us any updates on Krieg as he stands today? Bloody hell. Spartan says, yeah, he can confirm that the facial animation on NPCs was not fully implemented. Interesting. Which resulted in Krieg's incredibly deadpan and lifeless look. All characters are modelled in a neutral pose prior to blend shapes and animation being applied, so poor old Krieg was never intended to be seen in that condition, which is not something that was evident during the gameplay. It was only later in the close-up freeze frame of this one bad moment where it came to light and the legend of Krieg was born. My god. The work on the material fidelity and more variety out of the brute faces, which is good. Also working to add some hairdos and beards, which was something we hadn't gotten to in July. Yes! That's good, that's great. Get them more looking like the Halo 2 and Halo 3 if you need to, brutes, and we're good to go. So whilst we've come to love our dear old Krieg, he's certainly going to be undergoing a significant makeover. Perfect. Krieg isn't the only model to see improvements though. There have been significant changes to other characters and 3D models as we continue to evolve and polish our content, some of which can be seen in the Spartan and weapon renders being Ooh, hello! That's George's Grenadier shoulder. Ooh! Hang on. So this is on that map. I'm going to call it the Quake map for now. Ooh! That armor looks pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. Seeing, like, pretty much full Grenadier holding a BR-75. Ooh, that looks good. Despite the fact that he's sprinting, that Spartan looks bloody beautiful. Ooh, nice, dude. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. In today's update, we're providing the first glimpses of an interior space via one of Halo Infinite's work-in-progress multiplayer maps, which is what we've already seen. From a content and graphics perspective, how is this approach similar and different when it comes to the look and feel of these more intimate traditional spaces versus the open and expansive outdoor environments? And then the artists go into some more talk about the actual fidelity of multiplayer maps, the difference in designing actual indoor closed environments compared to outdoor massive expansive environments, saying that things like the density of content in the expansive outdoor environment and the challenges that that brings are obviously very different to what you get in multiplayer maps because they're enclosed and smaller. And then as well, another difference, Annie says here that that's unique to the exterior environment is the seamless time of day, which requires a more dynamic global illumination approach, along with providing various knobs to obviously control the elements of the lighting, the sky, and the atmospherics, and the color grading and all that. And then he says that this is the first time that a Halo game has had to tackle either of these challenges, and so the team has had to spend a lot of cycles building and optimizing engine and toolchain functionality to facilitate the experience in Halo Infinite. And then Sparth says that apparently at a high level, the approach and process is pretty similar between multiplayer maps and campaign areas. They go through the same stages of construction and polish for modeling and texturing and lighting, and they're always building assets in a modular way that facilitates their reuse in different scenarios, like reusing campaign assets in multiplayer and vice versa. But the big difference is that typically interior spaces are more linear and controlled and are constructed spaces built from hard surfaces, which means lots of metals and reflections and more curated lighting, when creating larger open world maps involve more organic assets like biomes and stuff like that, which, makes sense. And then obviously multiplayer maps as well require collaboration with a multiplayer team to make sure that the layout is fine, that sight lines aren't blocked, that player navigation works and everything. All stuff that you'd expect. Oh, okay, so the final thing that Sketch asked the art team is that the extra time has yielded progress on the visual fidelity front, but they're still not done yet. Can you talk about some remaining priorities and work that the team is focused on? So Annie said that on the graphics engineering side, there's a team that is continuing to polish up the last bits of feature work on lighting, global illumination, and atmospherics. And they're also iterating closely with Neil's teams on making sure that the content creators can take full advantage of the cool technologies we've built over the last couple years. Another group of graphics developers is staying head down on optimizing the end-to-end rendering pipeline so that we can deliver a great experience on resolution and performance across all our target platforms to our players. I really, really hope that in terms of content creators taking full advantage of the cool technologies, they mean like a photo mode or something, That would be a godsend. Please, 343 photo mode or campaign theatre, please, that would be a godsend. And then Sparth says that on the art side, it's mostly just like further polish and bringing it all together. They also have a concept of content complete, where we get all of our content into the build, and then we have time after that to kind of assess holistically and further polish areas that would benefit the most. Oftentimes, significant improvements are made after our content complete milestones. I wonder if that's addressing the content complete leak that came out recently. Maybe it sounds to me like it kind of is. Set dressing, mask painting, texture and material improvements, FX and lighting tweaking, and animation and polish variety are still being worked on. They've made significant improvements to foliage, to trees and grass, both in terms of rendering, fidelity, and how they maintain that over distance, which is good. But this is another area still being worked on, and fidelity will further improve. We're excited to show you as soon as we're able to bring things together and showcase the work in the best light. Any final words? The three artists, Neil, Annie, and Sparth, just thank us all. Thank you guys for your work on Halo. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Okay, the next section is called Live and Customization. This will be a spicy one, lads. Let's dig in, shall we? Right. Okay, as Sketch said, it's time to sit down with our live team and talk about our approach to designing live games such as Halo Infinite, free-to-play multiplayer, and armor customization. Without further ado, let's dive into a Q&A with the team. Right, so the two people that we're speaking to are Ryan Paradis and Chris Bloom. Thank you for joining us today. Since this is the first time that you're both talking about Halo Infinite publicly, I wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourselves to our community. So what do your roles at 343 entail, and what's your experience with Halo as a fan or an employee? Oh, also, this is Unicheck doing this interview. So just a little introduction to the two of them. Ryan first got into Halo with the E3 2000 trailer, way back when, and Chris got into Halo when he was working on MechWarrior 4. Apparently the Bungie guys worked above them, and a few of them came down to show them an early build of multiplayer, which is pretty cool, and apparently it was hooked immediately. They all played shooters on PC, but you could feel the tectonic plate shifting when we got our hands on those controllers, even in an early build. Pretty cool that both these guys go back that far. So, we said live team quite a bit, so I want to ask, what does the live team do? Oh, picture. Hello, Spartan. Scorpion Punch armor coating. Right, okay. So that's the Scorpion Punch armor coating with a helmet that looks a bit like Anubis from Halo 5. Pretty cool chest armor, actually. Scorpion armor coating. Right, wonder how you get that. Do I have to buy those scorpion candies you can get from weird shops? You know, those like chocolate scorpions that you can get. I'm not sure if that's just a British thing or not, but bloody hell. So, by the sounds of it, the live team are basically working on reacting to player feedback before the game comes out and also after the game comes out. And specifically, they're going to be working across the studio to form a long-term roadmap for Halo Infinite, I'm assuming for content releases. Like what players should look forward to each season and stuff like that. They'll be partnering with the community to plan how the game is going to grow and evolve over time, and then also they'll be looking at how they work with us to ensure that the roadmap can be communicated effectively. Apparently the live team work based on a bunch of principles that they call principles and pillars. So apparently these principles and pillars for designing Halo Infinite long term are healthy engagement is paramount, maintaining a player-first focus, unambiguous value, which means that if somebody invests their time or money in the game, they should understand what they're getting and that it will be worth more than the investment. Examples of this include practices like no loot boxes, either through engagement or any premium route, and we're not selling power or giving an unfair advantage in game via any route. Okay, cool. Still selling colours though. They will always be listening, learning, and experimenting. They'll be providing value, and they'll be allowing player expression. Here we go. Okay, this is going to be interesting. One thing you mentioned that stood out to me was that some things may change because Halo Infinite multiplayer is going free to play. We've touched on it lightly before, and it's a pretty big question in the community. But will that apply to customization? If so, how do you make those changes while staying true to your design pillars? Very good question. So, Chris answered by saying, "It's a great question and one we think about all the time. We see and hear the current concerns of our community, specifically right now around armor coatings, and we look to our systems to make sure we are doing the right thing for both our players and their ability to represent themselves, as well as what is right for a free-to-play service-driven title. Yes, being free-to-play does mean that there will be some premium cosmetics, but players will obtain tons of customization content through things like campaign, challenges, skill, special events, legacy rewards such as SR152 in Halo 5, the progress system, and more. We will always provide value for pure engagement and simply playing the game. We believe that providing value isn't exclusive to monetary transactions, it's about making sure you're properly rewarded for the time that you're investing into the game. Players that play for free will be able to unlock items across a multitude of different customization types to allow them to represent themselves in-game. Halo 5 didn't do a great job at rewarding our most engaged players, SR152s, so we've added a few tokens of appreciation in Halo Infinite to help make up for that. Below, you can see those 2 tokens in the form of an exclusive armor coating and weapon coating. Okay, we've also used our learnings there to better structure the player rewards in Halo Infinite. So, this picture that I'm about to look at is the reward for hitting SR152 in Halo 5. Okay, man's got the MA40 redline skin for his AR. Okay, that looks pretty sick, I guess. To be honest, it looks cool, but I'm happy I didn't grind to 152 for it. Called the Watchdog armor coating. That AR skin is pretty sick. That is literally the red line skin from CS. Okay, that looks kind of cool. Still an armor coating though. Ultimately, we want to make sure that all of our players respect and love. By staying true to our pillars outlined above, especially in regards to maintaining a player-first focus and listening to the community, we should be able to do just that. Okay, you mentioned coatings specifically, which have turned over heads the past few weeks, so let's talk about those a bit more. Can you elaborate on what coatings are and why they're in Halo Infinite? Yes, the coating system is something that the live team and our 3D artists designed directly after Halo 5 and is part of the overall customization picture. In previous Halo titles, we had a series of inputs that were simple RGBs in primary and secondary channels. For Halo Infinite, we didn't feel that flat colours in a singular pattern were good enough. Why though? The coating system allows us to define colour, wear and tear, patterns, and materials on a region-by-region basis on the Spartan or anything in the game, be it armour, weapons, vehicles, or even environment elements like fuel barrels. To get our design vision, we needed to make an exceedingly difficult decision to move away from a system that was in the game from early days, primary and secondary colour. The decision was not made lightly, but it has laid the foundation for greater detail and variation when it comes to colour. Oh, dude, no. I'm not a game designer. I don't want to sit here and pretend to be some next level armchair developer or anything, right? But you didn't need to get rid of that, right? You didn't need to. Besides monetizing it, you didn't need to. You say here about splitting it region by region, like colour customization and everything, region by region. Why could there not be an option for like leg colour, arm colour, chest colour, head colour, forearm colour? Why did it have to be all removed and compacted together into one system that right now, based on everything we've had so far, is only monetized? Obviously, it's not only monetized. There are going to be coatings that you get in-game from playing, but why? I'm sorry, there's no excuse for getting rid of it. I'm not going to sit here and be an armchair developer, so I don't know the ins and outs of this, but I'm not going to just sit here and be like, oh, okay, fair enough, because no. It should, primary and secondary colour customization should be there, right? I'm sorry, but it should be. It just should be. It just should be. Here's another picture of another Spartan. The Splinter Desert armor coating. Bloody hell. In addition to getting better variation, we can also create coatings much faster than we could create weapon skins in Halo 5, which will allow for even better variation over time. Additionally, with coatings now being their own customization option, we can also use them as rewards for player accomplishments, or even create bespoke ones for certain occasions. But I don't see why you couldn't do that anyway with colours. Warframe does that. Could you not do that as well? Lastly, coatings use similar digital footprint and let us add new ones to the game without massive patches or taking up tons of which was a learning. Yeah, okay, cool, but Warframe does that as well. And you can choose colours for free in that game. Alright, okay. We have looked at the system and we understand the concern. In our recent value balancing pass, which was a direct result of community feedback around coatings, we have looked hard at how many coatings are in a starting set and how many and of what quality are unlocked via engagement versus other systems. Coatings are one part of the customization picture, but we feel all up will hit our goal for player representation by offering more possibilities across the entire system. While this does mean losing some player control, yeah, it increases the depth of customization that we can achieve internally and that you can ultimately... So we do lose stuff then, don't we? That's the thing. We aren't gaining here. We lose stuff. This is an active detraction in customization. It is. Like, this Spartan looks cool and everything, right? But it's an active detraction in customization. Oh, dude. Thank you for providing some extra insight here. I'm excited to see how the coating system can benefit armor, weapon, and vehicle customization. Now, speaking of armor customization options, we've teased Halo Reach levels of armor customization before. Can you tell us what this actually means in regards to Halo Infinite armor? Good question. So, Chris answered by saying, one way to look at inventory systems is to look at their breadth and depth. How many things can I customize and how many choices within it do I have? Reach allowed the player a lot of individual customization types on a single armor suit, with each type having many options. We knew we had to return to that level, but also do more. Okay, I'm interested. To me, Reach customization is both the options, helmet attachments, left shoulder pad, right shoulder pad, as well as the number of individual assets. Another picture here. Hello, George. Okay, that is very, very, very Reach. I like that. That looks good. Very, very good. And it's even called Noble Defender. It's a bloody armor coating though. Christ. The Noble Defender armor coating. To dial it in a little, the geo that could be changed or added to in Reach was helmet attachment, chest gear, shoulder pads left and right, knee guards, wrist gear, and utility, as well as visor colour. These will all be back, and we will go further. Personally, I've always loved visors, and we have a surprise to show soon. Ooh, hello. I understand that there is a level of being vague that is unconscionable, and I'm riding that line hard, but we do want to save some surprises for later. Fair enough, understandable. Intrigued to see what that thing is with visors. Very intrigued. Haunted helmet, please. I love it. I knew the team was cooking up some awesome stuff, but I was still really impressed when I saw all these options for the first time. Best part is that we're only talking about armor customization here. You've been working to add deeper personalization elsewhere as well, right? Ooh. Are you able to elaborate on those right now? Okay, they're going to be vague for a little bit longer. Just know that there's still tons to talk about between now and our launch next fall. Ooh, that still stings a little bit. We're showing some cool Spartan customization and armor in this update, but we're not done showing players what they can do there. Ooh, that screams Playable Elites to me. That screams Playable Elites. Likewise, players have seen coatings for weapons and vehicles they know about, but that's not all they'll be able to customize there either. And then there's things that don't fall into those areas, okay, interesting, that players will be able to get via engagement and premium paths too. We have a lot to talk about. When it's time for the hype train to leave the station, we'll be sure we're on it, with a briefcase full of information and screenshots. I think I lost the metaphor, okay. Alright then, keep your secrets. Top tier reference. For now. I know we'll get to chatting about everything the live team has been working on in due time and in even greater depth. Thank you again for taking the time to chat with us. Are there any closing words you'd wish to impart to our community before we wrap up? And they just talk about making changes based on the heat they've received, thanks to, obviously, armor coatings. It's good that they're making changes. I'll be honest, it's a little bit disconcerting that we had to make the heat for them to make these changes in the first place. That is a little bit disconcerting, but is what it is. To round up, no loot boxes, no randomness or items that influence the sandbox or gameplay, which basically confirms no Warzone, which is ironic because about 2 hours ago I uploaded a video about Warzone returning in Halo Infinite. Oh well, yeah, so that's good, I guess, but still, the armor customization sounds sick, I'm intrigued. I'm just so off-put by the whole armor coating thing still, and that explanation, like, with respect, just made it sound kind of worse. It's just further confirmation that, like, yeah, we took away primary and secondary, we're not adding it back, it's not coming back. Instead, here's your picked colour that we made for you, Like it, don't like it, end of. You want to make your own armor color combination? Sorry, can't do that anymore. No. You want a Spartan that's grey and red? Well, I sure hope you can get the one armor coating that we make that's grey and red. Bloody hell, dude. It's such a shame because the armor customization sounds and looks so cool. The actual armor in the Spartans looks so damn good. And it's just, like, stained by this coating bullshit. It's, oh, dude. Anyway, another picture to round this off. The Watchdog armor coating again. And also the Watchdog armor coating on the BR, which you get for hitting 152 in Halo 5, which does look really cool. It's a cool coating, but, like, here we go, dude, right? So, this armor coating is, with respect, grey and black, right? I can select that colour combination in literally any Halo game after Halo 2, easily, but like that. And instead, to get it in Halo Infinite, I have to hit the max rank in Halo 5. Those colours are, or this colour combination is now locked behind hitting 152 in Halo 5. It's not even a monetized armor coating, and it's still bad, dude. Like, this is the problem. This is the problem with it. Okay, and that's it for the update. Well, actually, it's not it for the update yet. Uni is passing the torch back over to Joe Staten, our man, to continue talking for a little bit to round the update off. So, the road ahead. I'm fortunate to have worked with incredibly talented teams my whole career. The Infinite team is no exception. Folks here don't just understand Halo, they love the core gameplay and characters and community. Everything that makes Halo, Halo, just as much as I do. And, like me, they also feel a deep responsibility to serve. We aren't making this game for us, we're making it for you. Starting with this update, we're going to be sharing more about what we're doing and, most importantly, why we're doing it. So, here are a few things I'd like to share. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. My first week on the job, I played the entire Infinite campaign. Twice. I was, in a word, stunned in the best possible way by what the team had done. Bloody hell, okay. Nice to hear. Infinite is by far the most expansive and vertical Halo world ever. Why did the team do this? Because they understand that wonder and freedom are key to the Halo experience. I could feel the classic Halo 30 seconds of fun, thank you Jamie Griesmer, beating at the heart of Infinite's world. But I had never felt more powerful, more mobile, more in command of a rich set of tactical choices. This was the Halo we imagined back in 2000. Finally come to life, after 20 years of technical and creative innovation. Okay. Right, they are big words. Bloody hell, they are big words. Time will tell if the rest of us experience that, but coming from Joe, they're big words. Sure, there were bugs in this build and clearly more work to do, but this concept art by Martin Deschambault, I'm sorry if I ruined that name, my apologies, one of the many incredible pieces he's made for the game. Whoa, hello. That was that thing in the back of the key art, that floating thing. And then that other like weird platform thing in the background, I've seen that in concept art before. I want to say it was either Halo Wars 1 concept art or Halo CEA concept art, one of the two. But yeah, that does look cool. This art encapsulates all of the excitement and curiosity and joy that I felt on my first journey through Zeta Halo. Still gonna smile every time I see that. The most mysterious, dangerous, and possibly rich place in the entire Halo universe. Hell yeah, baby. Everywhere I looked, I saw choices. Do I explore off the Golden Path? Do I assault the banished war base guarding the Valley Pass? Do I follow a flight of foreigner sentinels into that unexpected cavern? Rescue a squad of Marines dug in and desperate halfway up that mountain? Or do I keep pulling the mainline story thread that feels epic and intimate at the same time? Ooh, spicy, that sounds good. Truly, Halo Infinite is a world in which I love spending time and that I'm thrilled to return to, both as a designer and a player. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for your patience and your passion. We can't wait for you to join us on the Halo Infinite adventure, first with Insider Flighting later next year. And then when we ship in fall 2021. Later next year, dude. It's gonna be a long wait. In the meantime, I hope all of you have a restful holiday season. We'll catch you in the new year. Thank you, Brian, John, Joe, and everyone else who contributed to this. that was quite something. Just looking back through it real quick to summarize, the armor looks bloody sick. The armor looks incredible. Coating's just still shit. Completely. Armor customization sounds sick. Really, really, really cool. Still concerned how we're going to unlock said armor, but it sounds sick at least. I'm curious to see what that visor thing is. Very curious. Joe saying that this is the Halo we envisioned in 2000, that Bungie envisioned in 2000. Those are very, very strong words. Very strong words. That's... If they live up to that, then bloody hell, we're in for a treat. Time will tell, though, I guess. That's going to be quite something to live up to. Overall thoughts on this? Overall positive, I would say. The art stuff, art improvements look good. That multiplayer map looks pretty sick. The SPNKr, yeah. Like I said, with the SPNKr and also the sniper, I'm going to wait until I see the view model of the weapons until I fully judge them. I like the sniper. SPNKr, yeah, I'm on board with it. It's SPNKr. I'm not going to complain. It looks cool. It looks cool. Part of me was kind of hoping to really go back to the CE design and have like the brown overcoating, but I don't mind. I like that. It's a cool design. It looks pretty cool. Spartan in the back looks pretty nice as well. Pretty sure that's the holo table from the Halo 5 Warzone E3 experience. Don't ask how I remember that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, the weapons look cool. Multiplayer map definitely does look cool. Armor looks incredible. Armor coatings still sound shit. No matter what way you slice it, they sound shit. They sound like an awful idea. They sound like an idea that was put into place with monetization being the primary goal. Whether that was the overall goal, probably not, but I would assume primary goal. Yeah. Infinite flighting later next year. Later. Yeah, that's it though, I guess. This has been a very long video. I'm going to edit this now. God knows what time I'm going to sleep tonight, but who cares? Who cares? Yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. Obviously, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and I will catch you all in the next one.